When we think of good posture, what usually comes to mind is sitting up straight. This is also the advice given to piano players. However, following this advice can be quite problematic, and it can cause many issues with our playing and our posture in general. Hello and welcome to the second part of the piano posture video series. If we haven't met before, my name is Helen, and I'm a pianist and the teacher of the Alexander technique. I help people discover healthier and more effective movement at the piano. In the previous video, we talked about how to set up your piano bench. If you haven't watched that video, I recommend doing so before watching this one, because it contains some information that is useful for what we are applying today. The word posture in itself is a little bit problematic because it can make people feel like they should hold a certain position and that they are not allowed to move. This can cause quite a bit of tension and rigidity in their playing. Sitting up straight, I believe, does exactly that. It makes us try to hold a certain position, and when we get tired, we slump instead. It's much better to sit in balance. So let's have a look at what that means. How to sit in balance in a way that supports your body, that feels easy, but that also advocates a good technique. In order to have balance at the piano, I believe that there are certain things that every pianist should know about. These things are where the sitting bones are, what the hip joints are, how you should move your torso when you move to different parts of the keyboard, and how the head can sit lightly on top of your spine. These things are very vital when it comes to improving your posture, so we'll cover them today in this video. If you find this video useful, please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button so that you will be notified when I post a new video. Your sitting bones were designed to take your body's weight when you sit down. You can see from this picture that they look like rockers. They have quite a bit of surface and they're strong, so that you can feel balanced when you sit. The problem is that many people don't sit on their sitting bones when they sit down. They actually sit either in front of them or behind them, and we'll now explore what that means. First, let's find your sitting bones. What I'd like you to do is place your hands palms up underneath you like this, and when you wriggle around, you should feel these two bony rockers. These are your sitting bones. So let's experiment a little bit. When you go into a slump, the weight should be falling behind your hands, behind your sitting bones, and more onto your tailbone. However, your tailbone was not designed to bear your body weight, so directing the weight there when you play on a constant basis is not a great idea. This position also compresses your whole torso, and it causes the spine to go into a C shape. Oftentimes on top of that, when you need to see the music, you need to lift the chin up, which causes a big contraction in the neck. Some people might look like they sit in a good posture because their back looks nice and straight, but their weight might still be directed backwards to the tailbone because the pelvis is slightly curved backwards. And now let's do the exact opposite. Keeping the hands on your sitting bones, straighten yourself. When most people sit up straight, what they do is they push the lower back forward and the shoulders back. I agree that this position looks much better than the slumping because the front is nice and open. However, the back is completely contracted, and this can cause lower back pain, restriction in breathing, feeling of tension and rigidity. And it also restricts the arm movements because obviously the arms need to move forward towards the piano, and if you pull the shoulders back, this causes contraction and this causes contradiction in where your arms are going to go. No wonder people can't keep this position for a long time. Have you ever been told to sit up straight by a parent or a well-meaning uncle or a teacher? Let me know by leaving a comment below. A much better way is to sit in balance, to feel that you're sitting on your sitting bones, and from there you allow your lower back to release backwards a little bit so that it's not pushed forward. You might find that it almost feels like a little slump if you have been over straightening yourself for years. So coming back to a balance will mean that the lower back will need to release backwards a little bit. At the same time, think about how tall you are and allow your full length so you're sitting tall instead of sitting up straight. What helps some people is thinking that the head balances lightly on top of the spine. Another imagery that is quite helpful is thinking about the space above your head and allowing your body to almost relax upwards. Next, let's find your hip joint. The hip joints are here. They are much lower down than people think. These are the joints that the leg moves from. However, when you sit down, this will be the joint where your torso can move from freely. Most people use the spine for bending, and that causes the contraction of the front side that we already talked about. However, if you let your movement come from the hip joint, you can still keep the torso length and maintain that lovely open feeling while you move to different parts of the keyboard and back and forth. Make sure that your feet are flat on the floor and that you keep your heel down when you pedal. Another tip is to look at whether your knees have space in between them or whether they are pulled together. In case you want to learn more and be part of a like-minded community, come and join my Facebook group called the Happier Musicians Club. You will find the link below in the description. Just to inform you, I've put together a little guide about piano posture. To download it, you can go to the description and you will find the link there. I truly hope that you've enjoyed this video and you've got something out of it. If you have, let me know by liking it and commenting below. Also, please share this video with your friends. Check out my first video about how to set up your piano bench, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video about the hand posture.